Darling, darling, you're beautiful. Gotta keep your head up. Never let anything bring you down.
Hi, everybody. Thank you for joining Midweek Yoga. So excited to have you. Um, just a couple of things before we start. I did not get to record the meditation today, so I will make sure that I do that either later this evening or tomorrow morning, and that will be all within the email and links that I normally send you, along with a great playlist if you want to practice along with that during the week. As always, 2 blocks on each side of the mat for tonight. A blanket or a towel. So I don't know if you got the email message, but something that's maybe like about 2 feet by 1.5 feet rectangle. And then what I do is I like to roll it. So we kind of Marie Kondo and we roll it like a beach towel. So if it is a towel that you're using, that's great. So that maybe it's about 5 inches thick. And that you can just put off to the side for a little bit later. Also a strap or a belt of some kind. I find robe belts work perfectly, as long as it's a little bit over an inch, inch and a half thick, perfect, and that it supports your little bit of pressure. We're not going to go crazy. We're not hanging from the ceiling tonight on it. All right, let's put that off to the side. And then, of course, a nice pillow or bolster that we'll use towards the end of our practice. So when you're ready, tonight we're going to actually start in a reclined position, very much like Shavasana. As a matter of fact, it is Shavasana. So we're going to lay down completely flat on our backs. If you do want to use the pillow or the rolled blanket, or even if you want to make a bridge, like I showed you guys, out of the blocks and place that, behind your thighs, above your knees, that's always a nice way to take off the pressure from the lower back. Otherwise, you can just lay straight out and then maybe just get those heels towards the bottom edges of the mat, allowing your feet to just kind of relax and splay out in a nice Shavasana position. I would recommend bringing the arms out to the side. You can do palms down. You don't have to do palms up to receive any outside energies, just your own, just what the earth is giving you. And when you're ready, just take a nice deep breath through the mouth, through the nose, exhaling through the mouth, through the nose. Whatever feels most comfortable and normal for you. Just taking in a couple of deep breaths, kind of settling in, allowing the body to sort of melt into the ground. I also recommend the eyes closed for this. Hopefully we're feeling comfortable enough with each other that we can just close our eyes and enjoy the practice at the beginning and at the end. And when you're ready, just allow a natural flow of breath to come in to the body, however you see fit, whether that's through the nose or the mouth. Without any judgment, or trying to change anything or adjust anything. Strictly being the inside observer to your body, to your mind. Minus your sight, notice the other 4 sensations of the space around you. Other than the sound of my voice, are there other sounds that you can hear in your space and maybe just outside of your space? Is there any smells particularly happening? Do you even have a little taste in your mouth, perhaps? And just breathe and just notice those things. And when you're ready, notice the sensation that you're feeling on the outside of your body now. Bring the room space into your skin. And just start to feel maybe a little scan from head to toe or toe to head, how the skin is feeling. And again, maybe try not to adjust, try not to change anything. Certainly if you're in any pain or something uncomfortable, feel free to do that. just laying on our backs. And then I want you to sort of imagine or observe your breath without changing it, without adjusting it. How does that feel? Maybe just starting at the head. How does your breath affect your face? How does it affect your nose? Or is your inhales coming through your nose? Is there a smell happening now that the focus is on your nose? Is there a tickle? Is there a coolness? Just notice. Notice how the breath feels at your mouth, the parts of the mouth, your tongue, your lips, your jaw. Perhaps there is a taste now that you can notice because your attention is drawn there. What about the ears? Is there a sound now that maybe you're hearing? Maybe it's the sound of your own breath. Feeling the forehead and how the eye sockets are affected by the breath, the top of the head, the back of the head. Maybe it's sinking a little bit deeper into the mat, into the ground. And as you come down the neck and the throat, how is that breath feeling within that space, inside? What sensations are you feeling as the breath passes through? Is there swallowing? Is there a sound, perhaps a little echo? And as you arrive at your chest, feeling the breath there. On the inhale and the exhale, maybe there's different sensations. Noticing how the ribs feel in the front and the back of the body, how the belly feels. How does your chest feel at the heart level? Can you feel your heartbeat? Can you hear your heartbeat? Coming down each arm, each muscle and bone of each arm on the interior, coming through the wrists, the hands, and finally to all 10 fingers. Is there an interior sensation or feeling? Perhaps there's a small flutter of your pulse. And finally, when you end down at your hips, and your leg muscles and bones into your ankles and feet, allowing each toe to be acknowledged for any sensation that may be happening there. Tonight, allowing yourself to feel in your practice without the need to change anything. Feeling the feels, allowing compassion for yourself, maybe in some sensational or uncomfortable moments without judgment. Enjoying the stillness or the nothingness, perhaps, that will come up in each of the sections that we do this evening. Finally, with one deep breath, we're going to raise our arms above our heads and our toes pointed towards the bottom of the mat. Nice deep yawning stretch of the body for a nice inhale and exhale. And when you're ready, you can take the strap. And if you want to just take a look at the screen for a moment, I like to double my strap. Sometimes it's a little long. And I like to bring in my knees and just wrap the strap around my shin and just give a little tug. The knees draw back towards the chest. The feet are relaxed. There's just a little slight rocking motion at the back area of the body, almost the tailbone, a little massage happening. Not forgetting to breathe. Just feeling how that feels, starting to loosen up. Taking the strap now, opening it up, maybe at the center of the strap, wrapping it around the right foot. So you want it to be right at the ball of the foot. I'm going to show you. You don't want it around the arch. That might cause some uncomfortable sensations later. And we certainly don't want it constricting the toes. So we want to get it right across all the balls of all the toes from inner edge to outer edge. The left foot to start will be planted down on the mat for some leverage, knees up. And we're going to take the right hand and we're going to reach as far up without overextending or reaching our shoulders. We're going to keep our head, our shoulders to the ground. We're going to reach that right hand up and we're going to grab both parts of the strap. The left hand is just going to come out to the left side, again for leverage, just to hold on. And when you're ready, you're going to gently pull that foot in, allowing your right knee to drop, maybe to the floor, maybe to the armpit, maybe it just comes halfway. And just start to notice where your beginning and where your end is, and pull into that. A couple of breaths. And when you're ready, let's take it back up to the ceiling and then just give a couple of pumps, maybe 4 pumps. So we're going to exhale on the lift and we're going to inhale on the pull. So exhale on the lift, inhale on the pull, and maybe you want to get a nice strong flexed foot going. Really opening up the hip flexors. I think I lost count, so we're just going to finish up here at the top. And now, just take both hands to that same strap, as close up to the foot as you can. It's usually a straight arm. If you just straighten your arms and let your shoulders drop back down to the mat, you should be able to just gently pull your shin towards your face. Again, I'm not expecting something to come way over the top of your head. Just some light movements to start to open up the hamstring. With a nice straight leg, you should even feel, with a nice flex foot, you should even feel some pull of the calf. And again, just about 4 or 5 pumps here. Breathing in on the pull, breathing out on the extension. And when you're ready, take that right hand one more time. And we're going to see if we can get that leg to come straight out to the side. Again, you might not be able to get the foot all the way to the floor. It's okay on this round to let the left hip come up. And again, if you can only get here, great. If you can get a little bit lower, great. If there's any discomfort or strain in the back, just bend the knee and bring it open that way. And just allow that right hand to guide the right foot back and forth. And again, we're going to inhale on the out, exhale on the rise. Inhale on the out, exhale on the rise. And when you're ready, that right foot's going to come down to the floor. You're going to take that strap and come around the left foot, left ball of the foot. So now the left hand will be doing the work and the right hand's going to come out to the side. And again, we're going to inhale and we're going to pull that knee down to our armpit, possibly down to the floor. And on the exhale, it's going to rise back up. Nice flex foot, nice strong foot. Bringing it down, inhale, exhale up. A couple more times, inhale. And now we're just going to pump towards the face. So exhale, inhale towards the face, exhale up, knee is straight, foot is nice and flexed. Feeling that nice pull, just very slow, very gentle. But as you're breathing, just feel it in your body. And on that last one, we're going to take that left leg and we're going to bring it out to the left side. And we're going to exhale and bring it up. Side. Exhale, bring it up. And to the side. And exhale, bring it up. When you're ready, you're going to take the strap out. Switch back over to the right. And this time for the challenge, we're going to extend that left leg. So we're going to try to keep it grounded. The foot is going to be flexed on the left side. And And the right foot is going to be up and flexed, right hand holding the strap. And let's see how it feels now trying to bring that right knee down. I notice in my body, I can't get the knee down as far as I could when my leg was bent on the other side. We're not going to pump here. We're just going to hold it. But don't hold your breath. Breathe in, no particular breathing pattern, whatever works for you. Having some stillness, just allowing yourself to feel what's happening in the leg, maybe even the arms, the hands are working. Finally, we're going to exhale, extend the foot all the way up to the ceiling. And again, draw it back towards the face without lifting the shoulders, maybe using both hands. And just settle into that little pull. Breathing in, breathing out. Feeling the sensations and maybe just enjoying some stillness. When you're ready, just the right hand is going to come to that strap and we're going to bring it all the way out to the side. Again, if it has to be a bent knee, no worries. The object of the game is to keep that left hip grounded onto the floor. We're not rolling it, keeping it grounded, keeping that strong left leg to just let that right leg fall out however it may. A couple of breaths. On the exhale, the foot comes up and we're going to switch hands. Left hand is going to come around that strap. That right hand is going to come out to the side again to sort of balance ourselves. It's okay now to let that right hip come up as you cross over to the left side. Maybe that left hand is working really hard on holding that leg up. Maybe it's just a bent knee. Maybe you're way up here. Try to allow yourself to really roll over to the left hip, but keep that right arm over here towards the right. Couple of breaths. Nice twist. Exhale, we're going to bring that right foot up. Take it down to the ground. Bring out the left. Let's try it a few more times on this side. Rounding down that right leg, flex foot, bend the knee, draw the knee towards the armpit or to the floor to your side, the left hand. Just breathe, drawing that knee down. When you're ready, extend the foot on the exhale and draw it towards the face. Again, you might use your two hands for that. Just make sure that right leg is grounding down, foot is flexed, drawing that left leg straight towards the face. When you're ready, left hand is going to grab the strap and we're going to bring it out to the left side. That right hand is going to come out to balance you. Breathing in, keeping a nice strong right leg, flex foot. Exhale, the leg comes up. Right hand grabs the strap as we bring that foot over to the right. Rolling over on that right hip. And maybe taking the left arm out behind you. Maybe the gaze comes over the left hand. Nice twist in the body. Really breathe in. When you're ready, left leg comes up to the ceiling. We can release the strap. Drawing both knees into the chest. See if you can get that strap around both feet this time. Holding the strap with two hands, we're going to raise the legs, a nice stretch. A slight pull towards the face. Again, not lifting the shoulders, just bringing the legs to your face or your shins to your face. Both hands really helps here. Nice flex feet. When you're ready, bend your knees and let the strap come between your legs. Your knees splay out and see if you can get your soles of your feet to come together. So I'm going to spin around so you can see how that looks. It's almost like a butterfly pose, Baddha Konasana. And we're just going to take the both hands and draw it in and feel that nice opening in the hips, the groin, inner thighs. Again, no tugging, just a light little pull. And then we're just going to start to rock back and forth along the length of the tailbone. So as you push your feet, or the edges of your feet, into that strap, you'll notice that you can start to rise. And maybe your rocking gets you almost sitting up. And when you're ready, come to a seated position. Roll up your strap, put it off to the side. I'm going to grab a sip of water. You can turn and face the camera so you can see me. Just sitting in a regular, easy pose. We're going to just inhale with the arms up, palms facing each other, shoulders draw back. Exhale, palms go to the ground. A couple more on your own. Inhaling, exhaling, just really feeling the extension in the fingertips and the elbows, but not hyperextending those shoulders. On the next inhale, we're going to lace our fingers, interlace our fingers together, and we're going to turn so that the palms face up. Again, trying not to scrunch too much in the ears, allowing the shoulder blades to drop down. We're going to inhale, forward, exhale up, inhale forward, exhale up, inhale forward, exhale up. All right, allow the arms to come down now. We're going to do something a little interesting. It's called eagle arms. We're going to be working on to an eagle pose later. So it's a little bit tricky. What we're going to do is take our left arm. We're just going to kind of cross it as if we're like doing a cross like this. Except instead of crossing the right arm over the forearm, you're going to bring it under the elbow. So it's almost like a V as opposed to an X. You feeling that? Then we're going to try and bring the tops of our arms together. So you'll notice your right arm is lower, your right hand is lower than your left. And this is where it gets tricky. The right hand is going to kind of come around that left palm. So the right fingertips are going to come around that pad, the thumb pad. So when you're looking at it, it's literally going to look somewhat like this. From the side, it's going to look like this. And from the front, it's going to look like this. Now, if that is not accessible for you, we can just cross the arms and keep them here. If that's not accessible for you, we can just bring the elbows together and do little prayer hands. And the idea here is to lift the elbows, open up that back shoulder blade, again, without scrunching the shoulders, but sort of having a point of focus. So you're really just sort of soft focusing to where your arms are connecting. And when you're ready, you can release that and then switch sides. If you did do the right arm under, just now switch and do the left arm under and see if you can get into that eagle pose. And if not, just go into whatever alternative option. And just a couple of breaths here. Again, falling into the stillness, but feeling the challenge, feeling the discomfort, just acknowledging. When you're ready, come out. We're just going to roll the shoulders forward, backwards. Get a little movement in there. And we're going to come into table. And with table, we're going to do something different as well, because it's all about feeling the feels tonight. So getting up in your normal posture, I want you to see if you can swivel your right fingertips towards the back of the mat, towards your knee. So if you guys want to look up at me, we're going to be taking the hands and actually turning so that the forearm, the under forearm is facing forward. Same thing here, turning the palm so that the fingertips are facing towards the knees as opposed to in front of us. It's going to limit our cat-cows a little bit. So we're going into cow, curling the toes under, letting the belly drop, letting the shoulders come up. The gaze comes up on the inhale. And on the exhale, the tops of the feet flatten, the back rises, pelvis drops, shoulders, head drop. Then we just take a few of these, inhaling and exhaling. Again, just noticing the sensations in the body. This is a really great pose when you're at the keyboard for a long period of time. Really opens up that whole carpal tunnel area. And when you're ready, just come back. For me, I'm really feeling it in my wrists. Maybe shake out the wrists a little bit. Couple of breaths. Next, we're going to sit back on our heels and come into child's pose. And just taking a few moments there in child's pose, feeling the stillness again. Couple of breaths, coming back up into table. Putting some weight into the right palm and the right knee. Totally okay if you need to come off of the left knee, but we're going to be reaching with the left hand up to the sky. Palms will be facing the left. And we're going to swoop the hand and we're going to come between the arm and the leg. So we're going to come down and come back up. So I'm going to show you. And that's called threading the needle. This would be the thread. This would be the eye of the needle coming through. And we're just going to breathe in on the reach. Exhale on the lower. Breathe in on the reach. Exhale on the lower. And the next breathe in and exhale, we're going to try to see if we can make a connection with our left temple to the ground. So it'll look something like this. If that's not in your wheelhouse, that's okay. You can use that right hand to kind of just hold you up. And if you want, you can even extend that right hand to the front of the mat. It looks something like this. And notice how the seat is drawn back, almost to a child's pose. Really allowing that opening of the shoulder to come across the body and to allow that right hand to either come above the head or to the mat. A couple of breaths there. When you're ready, press up on the right hand to come into table. And we're going to take it to the other side this time. So the right arm is going to lift. palm facing the right side. Exhale, bring it under. Inhale, come up. Exhale, under. Up, under. And on the fourth round, we're going to see if we can get that right shoulder to make a connection with the floor. Maybe the right fingertips press into the floor. Left hand can either stay in front of the face or extend over the head. And just breathe. Maybe about 3 breaths. When you're ready, we're going to come back up into table. We're going to curl those toes under. And let's just take a nice first dog, downward dog. So we're going to rise up. Maybe bring the hands out a little, get a nice stretch in the legs, maybe walk the dog a little bit. Shift from one side to the other. Keep breathing. Then we're going to come down on the knees once again into child's pose. Except this time we're going to sweep the hands back. We're going to allow that forehead to make a connection with the ground, or maybe even the crown of our head. Our chin can tuck under and make that connection. And the arms are to the sides. You might even be able to scoop the hands around the heels of the feet. Nice little seed, a nice little embryo, really opening up the back. Taking a few breaths here, setting up for our salutations. I chose a moon salutation this week. We have the new moon coming in 2 days, I believe on Friday. And it's really important to set intentions around the new moon. So a couple of days before, sort of set the intentions, and then a couple of days after, try to feel the intentions. Really start to feel them working their way through your body. So we're going to do a intention at Tadasana today. When we get there, I'll give you the cue. And then as we finish the rest of the moon salutation, start to feel those intentions in your body. Perhaps the intention is for a loved one who's in pain, and maybe that brings on some pain or tightness. Perhaps the intention is something you're really looking forward to, so you have a little tingling that starts to happen in the appendages, or maybe it's a loving intention and you can really feel it, the warmth in your heart as you're going through the moon salutations. Again, just try to acknowledge how that feels in your body. From seed pose, we'll be coming up to table. And then from table, we're going to walk our hands just out one hand length. We're going to curl our toes under. We're going to rise up to almost a down dog and then come into plank. And from the curled toes, we're going to allow the hips to drop. We're going to look up to the corner of the room for an upward dog. So it's a little back bend. We've done this before. Exhale, come to down dog. Inhale, lower for that plank and up dog. Exhale, down dog. Inhale, up dog. Finally, exhale, up dog. Knees come down. Back to seed pose. Inhale, we're going to rise up standing on our knees. So if you do need to open up that blanket and get some additional support on your knees, that's fine. We'll be here a few times throughout the salutation. We're going to take an inhale. The arms are going to rise up like the full moon rises. And we're going to exhale and come down to child's pose. From child's pose, we're going to curl those two toes under like we did before, sort of come into that plank, but it's really an up dog. So the hips drop down. Exhale, back to down dog. Look to the front of your mat. We're going to peel that right leg up. Remember, it goes up high to the sky. Toes up on the left side. We bring that knees to nose, and knees to nose. And then we step forward with the right foot. Lowering that left knee, left shin, we're gonna have that low lunge. And we're gonna inhale one more time, a nice full moon that becomes a crescent moon. So the hands come together as we crescent moon, a little back bend. Exhale, hands frame the feet. Curl that left toe under, step up to meet the right. We're gonna halfway lift. We're gonna exhale and forward fold. We're gonna inhale, scoop up the moon. Bring it into your prayer hands. Bring your prayer hands to your heart. We're gonna stand in Tadasana and set our intentions for the evening, for the new moon, for the rest of the month. Next inhale, arms are going to scoop up again like the moon. Urdhva Hastasana, upward salute. Exhale, we're going to swan dive down to a forward fold. Hands are going to plant on the ground. That left foot is going to come back again on a low lunge. We're going to inhale for our crescent moon. Exhale, hands frame the feet. Stepping back to down dog. Down dog to seed. Inhale, rising up on the knees, full moon. Exhale, child's pose. Inhale, curling the toes under, up dog. Exhale, down dog. Coming up on the toes, left leg rises to the nose, coming up to the front between the hands. Right leg drops down, shin drops down, flat foot, low lunge. Inhale, scooping up the moon for the crescent, Anjaneyasana. Exhale, hands come to the ground. Curl the right toe under, step up to meet the left. Halfway lift. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, scoop up the moon. Exhale, swan dive down. Hands plant. Stepping back now with that right foot. Coming up for a half moon. Exhale, hands frame the foot. Step back, downward facing dog. Knees come down for seed pose. Inhale, one more time, full moon. Exhale, child's pose. Inhale, toes curl under, coming up, upward dog. Exhale, down dog. Taking that right leg up to the mat. Lift the leg. Bring it up. Low lunge, scoop it up. Crescent moon. Frame the foot. Curl the toe. Left foot meets the right. Halfway lift, Ardha Uttanasana. Exhale, Uttanasana. Inhale. Urdhva Hastasana. Exhale, forward fold. Taking that left foot back again. Scooping up for that Anjaneyasana, little crescent moon. Exhale, hands come to the ground. Toe curls under. Step back to down dog. Knees come down on the inhale for seed pose. Inhale, hands come up, full moon. Exhale, child's pose. Toes curl under, upward dog. Exhale, down dog. Left leg peels up, left side. Step to the front. Lunge half crescent here. Exhale, hands come down, right foot steps to meet the left. Halfway lift, hands to the shins. Shine that heart for the last time. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, scoop it all up. Exhale, forward fold. Hands come down. Right leg steps back. The last lunge on this side. Exhale, hands come to frame that front foot. Toe curls under, step it back for down dog. Inhale for seed. Inhale, rising up. Last moon. Exhale, forward fold to child's pose. Inhale, toes curling under. Last up dog. Exhale, down dog. Looking to the front of your mat. Get up on your toes. And we're going to walk the hands back towards the feet. Now you can either spring up with bent knees. You can slowly rise with your hands on your hips like a hinge, or you can just bring up vertebrae by vertebrae to a standing Tadasana pose. Take a couple of breaths here. Excellent job with your moon salutations. Those are definitely heat bearing. They bring up a lot of stuff, a lot of water, a lot of movement. So good job. Hands come to the hips. And we're going to step out, nice big stance. We're going to get into our warrior two. So we're going to kick back that heel. Toes are pointing to the upper left part of the mat. We're going to turn the body to the left. So again, it's the right foot stepping forward, turning the body to the left. Exhale, the hands come out to the sides, and we lean into that front leg, warrior two. I want you to take 3 breaths here. Deep, natural, whatever's best for you. But really feel the pose. Gazes over the right finger, the middle finger. And just really settle in and feel how those deep breaths or those natural breaths feel. When you're ready, the left hand is going to slide down the back left thigh for that peaceful warrior as the right palm comes up and over the head. And again, we're going to take 3 breaths here. Holding the poses a little bit longer tonight, just so we can really have that nothingness and that stillness to notice where the sensations fall in our body. On the exhale, we rise up, and the right forearm is going to connect with that right upper thigh, or I should say lower thigh. Grounding down on that left leg, really grounding down on that left outer edge of the foot, keeping that space again between our ears and our shoulders, making sure we have a nice scoop here on the side. We're going to take that left hand, come up over the head, nice engaged elbows, nice engaged fingers. Look up towards the elbow crease, so the armpit or the ceiling, or maybe it's just to the left. Count of 3. Feel your pose. Feel the sensations. Exhale, we're going to be pressing off of that forearm, pressing into that bent knee. And we're going to be looking for that block that we have placed in the front of the mat. We're going to bend over, pick it up. We're going to get set up for half moon pose. So bending into that right knee, that block is going to come off to the side in the front. We're going to get a nice perpendicular line of the right leg, toes pointing forward, left leg engaged, finding that balance, finding our nice 90-degree lines, flexing that left foot as if we're standing on the back room. Maybe raising that left hand, palm facing towards the left, and slowly that drishti gaze goes up towards the left thumb. As we hold, for you guessed it, 3 breaths. It's okay if we fall. It's okay if we wobble. It's okay if we shake. That's just the feelings and the energies expressing themselves through the body. So we're going to be compassionate. We're not going to judge ourselves, certainly not each other. When you're ready, we're going to bring that left foot to meet the right. You might need to bend your right knee a little bit to make room for it. We're going to inhale, scooping up the air. Exhale, forward fold. And we're going to step back with our right foot, left foot plank. Exhale, down dog. Coming up on the toes, walking the hands back towards the feet. Rise however you will until we're back meeting in Tadasana. Starting with the left foot now, we're going to step forward, setting up for warrior two on this side. Don't forget to pivot that right back heel, right toes pointing up towards the right side of the mat. Turning the body towards the right, leaning into that left knee towards the front. Maybe the left knee draws towards the left. Inhale, the arms come up. Exhale, we lean into the pose. Drishti gaze goes over that middle finger. We settle in for 3 breaths. 3 breaths of stillness. 3 breaths of feeling nothingness or feeling a lot of sensation. On the inhale, right hand slides down the back thigh as the left hand comes up and over for peaceful warrior. 3 breaths here. Inhale, that left forearm comes to the left thigh as the right arm comes up and over the head. Nice strong elbow, nice strong fingers. Feeling that right hip draw down and forward as the upper body twists up and open towards the ceiling as if the left rib cage could climb up to the ceiling. 3 breaths. Pressing up, reaching for our block, going right in for that half moon. Find your balance on that left leg, position your block however you need to, hold your body. Once you find your stability, once you get that right leg flat and up high, see if you can peel up the arm and turn your gaze up to that thumb. And a count of 3. Bending into that left knee, let the right foot join it. Join the left. Place your block. Nice little fold, maybe a little ragdoll. Hold on to your elbows, little rock. Catch your breath. Inhale, arms rise up. Hands come together at the top. We're just going to do a little micro back bend. Nothing exaggerated, really pulling up from the rib cage, pressing into the feet. We're not arching or crunching our back here. We're rising and coming back. And the gaze is just going to follow the hands. Couple of breaths. Exhale. Slowly, 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 slowly forward fold. Hands come to the mat. Stepping back, right foot or left. Hopping back, whatever you prefer, to downward dog. Catching about 5 breaths here. If you need to wiggle or move around, that's fine. If you just want to find your stillness, your nothingness, that's fine. If you prefer to come into a child's pose, that's fine. If you're not down on your knees, come onto your knees now. We're going to rise up like we did for our moon salutations. And we're going to reach for that rolled blanket or rolled towel. And we're going to place that, hopefully with the loose edge at the bottom so it doesn't unroll. We're going to place that right in front of our knees. When you're ready, we're going to come into a table right above it. We're going to come up into down dog. Get up on our toes, tippy toes. And we're going to take that right knee, right, we're going to lift it up. We're going to take that right knee to our right elbow and see if you can get that foot to clear, make clearance over the rolled blanket. When you do that, start to release that left foot, start to creep it out, and maybe that left hip comes to rest on that roll. That's the idea, is that roll should be coming straight under and through, hitting your front hip bone here and hitting your left sits bone. I'm sorry, your right sits bone. Hopefully that doesn't feel too uncomfortable. Again, if there's a pain sensation there, it's totally fine to come out of it. Maybe just sit a little cross-legged. If you can, get that toe to come straight out the back, pointing that leg, pointing that foot, but allow the kneecap to come down and rest on the floor. And we're going to reach for the block. And we're going to put the block, I like to put it flat and press my hand onto it. So again, pressing the hand. It's okay if the shoulders come up a little bit here because it all depends on how long your arm is versus your torso. And then I'm going to take the right hand, I'm going to press it into that upper right thigh. So I'm going to turn so that you guys can see how it looks on my body. So it's almost like your leg is at a figure four. And I believe a week or so ago we did recline pigeon pose. So this is sort of an upright pigeon. So it's that same crisscross happening. And that blanket is right across. So it's going from that hip bone to the sits bone. We're taking our hand on our block, kind of in front of that foot, in front of that shin. And we're placing the right hand on the right thigh. We're pressing up. So when we do that, it actually opens up the shoulders. We're not crunching them down anymore. But you might start to feel some sensation in your lower back. This is a back bend. So maybe the gaze comes up. Maybe that's too sensational. Maybe keep it down. Maybe pressing on the block in your limb is just too much sensation. You want to come down here and just kind of give a little lift like that, sort of like an upward dog or like a cow pose. That works too. And of course, this whole time I'm talking, you've been stretching. So I'm not going to hold you up here much longer. But I am going to ask you to maybe take that block, put it in front of you, about head's distance away, and see if you can start to walk your hands forward. And maybe, just maybe, you might be able to put that block up and lean on it with your forehead and take 3 quiet breaths. You might want to put it on the side. You might want to lay it flat. You might want to get rid of it, use the tops of your hands. You might say, hell no, not going to happen. In which case you can grab your pillow, you can shove it in there under your belly, and you can just kind of like hang out like this. Even if you need to bend that knee back, that's okay. Really opening up that outside glute, working on the hip flexor. When you're ready to come out of that pose, we're going to curl the toe under. The left toe is going to curl under, and the knee is going to engage. You're going to lift the back of your knee up towards the ceiling. It's going to give a nice amount of room there where you should be able to get your hands planted back into the beginning position on the floor. Maybe you can lift your hips and pull that leg back out and just send it up to the sky for a nice stretch. Up on the left toe, point that right toe. Come it back down to down dog. You guessed it, we're gonna go to the other side now. So come up on the right toes, left leg draws back. We're gonna bring that foot up and over the blanket. It should be in the right position from last time. Right leg draws back, kneecap draws down. Toes pointing straight out behind you. Maybe reaching for that block, pressing in with the right palm, pressing in with the left palm on your thigh, on that meaty part of your inner lower thigh. And if it isn't meaty, I envy you. So you might want to go up a little bit higher to a more meaty part. Allowing the shoulders to drop back, the gaze to rise up, really extending and getting a nice back bend. Again, the back bend is not always crunching from the lower back. It's about lifting the chest, opening up the middle spine, spreading the shoulder blades, allowing them to spread and draw back. A neutral throat, relaxing the jaw, the neck. And when you're ready, start to walk your hands out to a folded pigeon or a regular standard pigeon pose. Hands come in front, head comes down. 3 breaths here in nothingness or sensation. When you're ready, bring the block off to the side, pressing up into the hands the way we started, curling that right toe under, bringing up the back of the knee, maybe getting some height with our hips and allowing that foot to come back. Again, 3-legged dog, pointing that right foot up to the sky, really feeling the extension, the toes coming up on your right toe balls. And finally coming down for downward dog. Lowering the knees, coming into child's pose. Couple of breaths. Slowly rise from child's pose. Come to sit in that similar butterfly pose that we were in earlier in the practice, laying on our backs with our strap. This time we're sitting, possibly, I like to do sort of a restorative butterfly because it can be very sensational. So I take that rolled blanket and I put it under my bum. So it lifts me a little bit, allowing myself to really fall over my legs once my feet are together. And those feet could be stretched out further if that feels comfortable. They can be brought closer to the groin if that's necessary. I kind of keep them halfway. And then what I like to do as part of my restorative practice is I like to put my blocks underneath my knees. We don't want the knees just like hanging out there in no man's land. It causes a lot of tension here in the tendons. It could even cause some pulling in the knees. So if you put your blocks or your books, or whatever you have that's been supporting you through the practice underneath the knees, bringing the soles of the feet together, lifting up that pelvic floor. I like to take a pillow or a blankie and I just start to fold over onto it. Drawing the crown of my head forward, exhaling with every inhale, my crown draws more forward. With every exhale, my body lowers, almost like a wave, coming over the pillow, maybe really allowing me to fully fold, allowing that third eye to just sort of connect down, to really focus. When you're ready, slowly come up. Turning your body around so you can set up for Shavasana. Maybe a pillow or your bolster goes for your head. Maybe your blocks form a bridge underneath your thigh for some lower back support. Maybe your blankie opens up and covers you. Allowing your feet to splay, relax. Slowly lowering down on your back. Maybe allowing a couple of deep breaths to come in. Maybe your palms are on your lower belly or back to facing the ground on top of or underneath your blanket. Maybe you're a little hot. The blanket can also be used to cushion your head or any other body part. Just settle in. Maybe you've dimmed the lights by now. If not, you can take a quick second to jump up and do that. Scanning up from the body, starting at the toes, allowing the foot and the heel to drop down into the earth. Feeling the weightiness of our calves, the back of our knees, thighs. Hip bones start to draw down. Lower back, mid back, upper back. Shoulders drawing towards the earth as the arms ground down. Feeling the belly under the palms or the floor under the palms. Just seeing how that sensation feels on the skin, inside the muscles and the bones. Noticing the heart area, the lungs, the chest, the belly as it rises and lowers with each breath. Again, no adjustment needed, just an observation. Along with the shoulders dropping, the neck and the jaw start to draw back. Earlobes, tops of ears, eye sockets and cheeks. The brow starts to soften and draw back to the ground. Top of head relaxes. Remembering that we are humans. And as humans, we have emotions. And although it might not always be appropriate to let the emotions flow, sometimes we have to stay busy and sometimes we need to get things done, but they're always there waiting for us. And it's our right to acknowledge those emotions and feelings and just observe without judgment, without adjustment, seeing where they lie in our body, where they're manifesting in our behavior, finding compassion within ourselves also as humans, to forgive ourselves, to forgive those around us, and just allow for stillness and nothingness, to not always have to be busy, to not always have to be performing, to not always be perfect, but to really show appreciation for that integral part of us that makes us human. to allow ourselves the time to just have stillness and nothingness in order to restore the body, restore the mind. When you're ready, start to wiggle the fingers and the toes. Maybe take a deep breath, reaching up above the head and toes pointing out below to the bottom of the mat. And after another breath or two, just slowly rolling over to whichever side is easy and comfortable for you. You need to spend a little time there on your side. That's cool. Otherwise, you're going to slowly press up into an easy sitting position. Head always comes up last. Maybe keeping the eyes closed or just a little flutter. Drawing the hands into the heart, whether that is prayer hands with the knuckles at the breastbone, the thumb knuckles at the breastbone, or putting the palm over the heart and then palm over palm, drawing the chin down towards the hands, thanking ourselves for carving out time to come to this practice, thanking each other for joining in this virtual miracle that we get to connect with tonight. I thank you very much for joining. Be easy on yourself. Go in peace. Celebrate the new moon. Celebrate your intentions. And I will meet you around this same time next week for the approach of the full moon a few days after that. Drawing the hands now to the third eye. Thumb knuckles come up between the brows. Bowing one more time with a namaste. I thank you. I love you. Take care of yourself. Mwah.
Darling, darling, you're beautiful. Gotta keep your head up. Never let anything bring you down. Sunshine will always come around. Stay strong, move on. You have such a beautiful soul. Let your energy radiate.